So hello everyone, my name is Ayisha and my peer is Zere and another peer is Medina. So today we will gonna present our summative assessment criterion D. So let's start from me. So Zere, please start your question.
Thank you, Ayisha. I want to firstly discuss about your artwork. Can you explain what is your artistic intention behind this artwork?
Okay, so this artwork that called title Carrying Myself Forward is a self-portrait of my inner world. So in this artwork, I use image of small mouse carrying a giant sushi to express how I carry my emotions, thoughts, and personal growth as a 10th grade student. The mouse represent me not just because I born in year of mouse, but because I relate to its quiet, persistent nature. Overall, this also the sushi, while my favorite food, become a symbol of my complex identity. It holds many colorful pieces that each one representing my dreams, fears, emotions. That seeing I'm still discovering about myself. That's how I move forward in life, even when the weight I carry feels too much in my life. So I create this piece not only to represent myself, but to visually capture the emotional experience of adolescence. Mainly and particularly the feeling of being small in a big world, but have to carry different kind of responsibility, expectations, and hopes from other spheres. With its delicate frame and determined eyes symbolize how I try to persist through challenges, often are not set by others, but always trying to achieve the goal. While the sushi isn't just a favorite food, it was chosen for its layered structure, which metaphorically reflects the complexity of human emotions. Like sushi has many parts, including eyes, sweets, fish, vegetables, which represent my identity, that it made of multiple layers, like cultural background, academic stress, personal goals, and social dynamics. And all of this, combining them, it makes myself my identity. So by portraying myself as this tiny mouse, it holds something so large like a sushi. I want to show both. I want to show that the contrast, the tension between fragility and strength, between growth and uncertainty. So maybe next question, please, Ire.
Thank you very much for your answer. It was really interesting to hear about this. The next question is why did you choose those colors and shapes in your artwork?
Okay, let me explain each of the details that I did it in my artwork. So as you see in the picture, I chose orange for the background to reflect the emotional energy that I feel like caught between patience and anxiety. The imperfect black inks in the background circles shows mental pressure, confusion, and a repetition thought in my head. I place the mouse at the center that holds big sushi to emphasize effort and balance to the goal, to the main aim, while the small puff of wind at the feet of the mouse adds a touch of humor, but also shows how much strength it takes just to keep going to that place, to that point. I wanted them show to symbolize reality, not perfection, how life really feels when you are unsure about your past. That I felt and experienced in a 10th grade student, mainly in the end of December and in the winter. So each visual element was selected to communicate emotional trust rather than like aesthetic or some aesthetic imaginations of myself. So I think it's all. Maybe next question. I think in intention I discussed all things.
It is really interesting to hear. I think your artwork have a very deep meaning behind this. So can you tell us about what do you think is the most successful part of your final artwork?
Okay, so I think the strongest part of my artwork is the symbolism in the sushi. So sushi, it visually holds different parts, different elements that symbolize different parts of me, and people may not sit and ask question about that. Um, so as I said before, each of the sushi's element represent myself. Like for example, red colors represent the urgency, that my feeling of anxiety and like angriness when I couldn't do my works as a planet that I felt in this month and also in the December because of some different kind of summative assessment and a lot of work. While the like green and blue colors represent my feeling of free, like my interesting memories with my friend and others, while other small elements shows my identity, my and core uh, values that I hold myself. So by combining these different kind of elements, I wanted to show the elements in the form of sushi. I wanted to show my ideas that the sushi itself is my inner strength, while the mouse is my outer like look. So maybe it is one of my strengths that I could symbolically represent some kind of ideas through the related stuff like mouse and sushi. Well, if I could improve anything, I would work more on the stamping to make the circle more balanced, as you can see, because in the background, some of them are not stamped well. But I did it intentionally, but still it feels like I didn't do it like I mistakenly do it. So also it should be more balanced while still keeping the natural look. So you can see the circles are different, like little bit криво как там, not straight or straightly stamped. So I should next time I should improve that. So overall, I believe my pattern communicates the idea of personal struggle and inner growth well because it feels emotional and thoughtful without needing words. I think it invites people to look closer and feel something, to feel like ask question, what does it mean, which which evokes some kind of ideas from the audience. So I think it's
I think I fully agree with you in this point. Thank you for sharing with us your ideas and thoughts. So let's continue. How do your use of space, repetition, and color support the symbolic meaning?
okay, so maybe we can start from the space. The use of space with the mouse grounded and the sushi lifter shows weight and purpose. So you can see that it is very simple structure where the mouse is placed at one time and sushi in the middle. So it shows it balances the overall space, making the artwork overall balanced and organized. While the repetition of circles around it adds pressure and rhythm, like ongoing thoughts, ongoing feeling, and like anxiety that feel in my experience in my life. While color supports the emotional tone, like warm but unstable. So that, as I said before, orange is no red, like urgency or some high expressions, but nor the yellow. So it's a middle, so it can be both red and yellow, which shows that my feeling of not stableness. And also some viewer might see just a cute mouse, but other might feel the deeper message about identity and effort. So it makes the symbol of mouse is not just about animal, but some kind of metaphor of myself. I make visual choices like the sushi scale loops and the warm color intentionally to reflect my emotional state. I know this choice work because they make people stop, like feel and think just like I do in my own journey. Maybe by placing mouse low and the sushi high, I intentionally create a vertical tension as if the act of lifting becomes both physical and emotional. While the visual metaphor upward struggle like mirrors how I navigate life's challenges, trying to raise about self-doubt and pressure. Also, the surrounded backing circle frames the center figure, like almost enclosing them to visually simulate the weight of thoughts and surrounding daily. So I think that's all about from my side.
So it was really interesting to discuss about your artwork. If we gonna talk about your process, can you share with us what you learned during this project and what was something new you tried?
Okay, so maybe I can start. So during this project, I learned how to communicate deep like thoughts and emotions and personal identities throughout symbols in visual art format. For example, a new technique that I explored was using metaphor, like representing myself as a mouse carrying sushi to show how I manage emotional weight and personal growth. This helped me better understand how to tell stories through symbols rather than just words. I also improved my carving skills, especially when working with details, lines, and curves, with potatoes and with the erasers also. And over time, my stamping became more concise and clean as I learned how to control ink application and apply even pressure. However, one of the biggest challenge I faced was accidentally cutting too deep into the stamp, which ruined parts of the design. And I overcome this by practicing careful carving technique and doing tests before putting it to the final work. So I think planning and sketching before the final print helped me a lot to improve my composition and stamp control. And also feedback from my teacher and classmates also gave me a direction on what to fix it and what to improve, what to delete. As the project progresses, I noticed some artists thinking shift from focusing on visual to thinking about message and meaning itself. And I learned that visual communication is powerful when symbols are thoughtfully chosen and connected with the visual elements. And this project helped me to explore my personal identity, and I now can approach art with more intention and emotional depth. So thank you for giving and asking questions today.
Thank you for answer.
So thank you, Zere, for listening my thoughts and my intentions. And I'm now very interested in your visual artworks that you made it. So maybe can you explain what is your artistic intention behind this artwork? Really interesting.
Thank you very much for question. My artwork includes three main symbols. It's whales, leaves, and a geometric infinity-like shape made of semicircles and triangles. The whales are most dominant element in the design. They are arranged symmetrically in pairs on both sides of the pattern. I chose whales because they are my favorite animal and they represent something very personal to me. Many of my friends associate me with whales not just because I like them, but also because whales symbolize depth, calmness, and strength, which are qualities I relate to in my personality. So, using the whale stamp was a way for me to express my inner self and identity through the artwork. The green leaf stamps appear in the corners and vertically along the center. These leaves represent nature, growth, and the idea of being connected to the environment. I included them to show my appreciation or some connection with the natural world and how it shapes who I am. And the third symbol, the black pattern that look like an infinity sign made from semicircles and triangles. It was used for a border of the artwork. To me, these represent continuity, balance, and complexity. It's a less literal symbol, but shows another side of my personality. Um, like harmony, I often see meaning in abstract or geometric shapes, for like triangles, squares. So my artistic intention was to create a symbolic self-portrait using like some symbols and repeated stamps, each one which is representing a part of my identity. I wanted to use symbols that feel true to me and combine them into a pattern that shows my inner world in a visual way.
Oh, it is very cool and I'm impressed with your ideas, your thoughts. So maybe you can tell me about why did you organize a symbol in this way?
Um, Thank you for question. I organized the symbols in a symmetrical and balanced layout because I wanted the design to feel calm, centered, and intentional, just like the personality traits I connect with the whale symbol. The whales are arranged in four pairs facing each other, which creates like a mirror effect on both sides of the page. This shows the idea of harmony and emotional balance, something I value a lot in my life. The green leaves from a vertical line in the center of the pattern and also appear in all four corners. I placed them this way to create a rhythm in the composition and to lead the viewer's eye from top to bottom. The vertical placement also gives a sense of growth or a journey, like a tree growing or a path unfolding. This connects to my personal development and identity. I'm always learning and trying to grow. And the infinite like border made from semicircles and triangles goes around the whole pattern. I used it to frame the central symbols and to create contrast between the more natural organic shapes, like whales and leaves, and the geometric side. I wanted to combine both natural and structured element because I feel like that reflects how my personality has both creative and logical sides.
Okay, so maybe let's move on to the third question. What would you improve in the stamping or design if you did it again? Tell me about that.
Sec- Uh, if I were to do this project again, I would try to make the stamping cleaner and more consistent. Some of the whale prints didn't come out as clearly as I wanted. In a few areas, the paint was uneven or too thick and it blurred the lines of the design. That happened because I didn't, how to say, I didn't always control the pressure of my hand when stamping, and sometimes the acrylic paint dried too quickly on the stamp. To fix that, I would apply a thinner or even a layer of paint with a sponge or roller and press the stamp more carefully and evenly onto the paper. I would, um, I would also spend more time on the layout planning. Uh, I'm happy with the symmetrical structure overall, but a few of the stamps are not perfectly aligned, and that affects the visual flow of the whole pattern. Next time I would use light pencil guidelines or a ruler to keep the spacing more precise. So yeah.
Okay, and understand your improvements and some mistakes that you reflect thoughtfully. So how do your use of space, repetition, color support symbolic meaning?
Um, my use of space, repetition, and color was intentional to reflect parts of my personality and symbolic meaning. I used space to create balance and order the symbols which placed with enough distance between them so that each one can be seen clearly, but they're still connected visually. This use of space shows that I value peace and clarity in my life, and it also reflects how I try to keep things organized emotionally and mentally. Repetition is a key part of design. The wheels are repeated in the four corners, creating symmetry. This repetition of my favorite animal shows how important the whales is as a symbol of who I am, calm, thoughtful, and strong inside. Repeating the leaf symbol down the center and its corner helps connect the natural side of my someone of me, like someone who grows, adapts, and cares about nature. It also adds a sense of rhythm and movement. I choose blue for the wheels because it reminds me of the ocean, calmness. Um, Green was used for the leaves because it represents nature, life. The border is in black and gray to contrast with the more colorful symbols and to frame them clearly. Overall, space, repetition, and color all work together to express calm, growth, and inner strength, like the parts of my personality and identity I wanted to show in my artwork.
Okay, thank you so much. And last part, I want to hear your reflection maybe. So, what helped you to get better at the composition or stamp control, and how did this project help you explore overall your personal and cultural identity?
During this project, I learned how symbols can visually communicate identity and meaning without using words. I also learned that patterns can have both artistic and cultural value. They are not just decorations but carry a deep messages. One new thing I tried was carving stamps out of erasers and using acrylic paint to create prints. I had never made stamps before, so learning how to design, carve, and print was completely new for me.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer. It was very interesting and unique, your ideas. It shows, and your overall, I love your pictures that you created. Thank you so much.